No, commencer. It's not approved. What have you done? Which one? We're on?
It showed live.
Hello, my name is Paul Raftery and I'm a director with Projects RH based in Sydney. And today I'm joined by Kim Lyle, Executive Chairman of Electrogenics Laboratories Limited. The aim of Electrogenics is to commercialize the MOSkin, a highly advanced medical radiation sensor technology which provides effective real-time dose measurement for radiation treatment for all cancer patients and other invasive surgeries. Electrogenics has been recognised as a leading technology in 2020. Kim, the journey with electronics has not been easy and it's taken several years. Tonight we will speak of the journey of commercialising a technology which is developed by a university and that there are other learning points for developing and marketing a technology. On the 20th of October, Electrogenics won the 2020 Australian Technology Company of the Year award. This was a great honour with more than 200 companies participating in the process. As Kim is well aware, Projects RH works with a number of investment visa applicants as well who are very keen on using a 132B or 188E visa to commercialise their technology so they can invest and stay. This is just so one of the pathways to stay in Australia. The economic environment in Australia today clearly favours the development of technical solutions which have global applications, i.e. they can generate export income and create jobs in Australia. Spin-off opportunities from technologies are legendary, and the classic is Teflon, which came out of the space program. But it led to the creation of baby foods, digital cameras, and it also the purification of water and racing swimwear. So as a technology goes, other technologies spin off. Kim, welcome.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure.
Kim, you're a highly regarded member of the financial community, and you've been a director of 6 public companies, including 2 listed on the ASX. Could you please provide the audience with a brief overview of Electrogenics and your journey so far?
Certainly. For example, how do we find the technology?
How did you make the decision to commercialise it? I mean, why you found it,
yes.
How, and then how did you want it? What made you want to commercialise it?
Okay, so well, in terms of locating the technology in the first instance, we actually looked at over 100 different technologies in total, developed by the University of Sydney, some by the University of Wollongong, the University of New South Wales, and in fact, quite a few developed by the CSIRO. So that was over a 2-year period, and we selected this particular technology, this radiation sensor technology, because we felt it offered the greatest scope for commercialization and development. But we didn't just stumble upon the opportunity. We'd had to do a lot of research to find the right product and deal. We were attracted to this in particular because it was fully tested and proven by the University of Wollongong over a period of 8 years on over 2,000 patients and in 20 hospitals and clinics around the world. So not only that, but it's actually been fully patented. So this wasn't just an idea. This was a real product that had been tested and proven and was ready for mass production and commercialization. So that's what attracted us to this technology over the other potential deals we looked at. We dealing with the universities and CSIRO for that matter isn't a simple process. It requires 5 magic words: patients, patients, and more patients. These institutions are not commercialization, they're research people, they're professors. So the actual taking a product or one of their ideas or proven pieces of equipment to market is quite alien to them. So you have to spend a lot of time explaining what you're going to do, paint the picture of where it's going to be taken, assess the markets for them. So that's the hard part, I guess. And it can take many, many months. For example, this took over a year of explanation and negotiation with the University of Wollongong to actually take it to a point where we decided to press the go button and take it to market. Their hot buttons aren't really what you might expect. So these institutions are more concerned, not so much about the money. They're sure they want to recover some of the costs of their research, but they're more focused on seeing this technology successfully commercialized and taken into the community, and say, for example, in the case of our radiation sensor, utilize where it's going to actually save lives. And for example, this particular tech is a next generation technology. It's vastly superior in terms of performance compared to existing radiation sensors in the marketplace. This actually has the potential to reduce the risks of radiation damage that conventional treatments can cause. Up to 50% of people suffer serious radiation after effects, some even fatally. This can reduce those risks by 90% or eliminate them completely. So there's a tremendous positive social potential for this. And of course, obviously, the funds that's likely to be generated are significant as well. But it's the social impact, the prestige that is their main hot button. So you want to recognize why they want to do the deal. That took a little while to understand and fully appreciate from our side. There's grants is one of the other ways to go about this, is to raising funds, ideally equity or investments, or the people that you're talking to that are seeking to join a business or launch a business in Australia. But there are a lot of grants out there as well. There's what they call research and development grants. The government is supplying dollar for dollar matching grants. They'll actually issue full grants to help you launch manufacturing facilities. But Paul, this is one of the areas that's your expertise. You would be able to tell me more about that than I can tell you. So in fact, you're the one I come to for advice on that. The key buttons for all of this and the things to look for, it's got to be more than just an idea. You want to have some substance. Everyone's got a great idea. It's whether you can take that idea and turn it into a real product. One of the big drivers for that is it's all good and well to have a great idea, but you have to identify that there is an actual market for the product. Again, with our radiation sensor, there are multi-billion dollar medical radiation markets that this addresses. Angiograms, radiation treatment for cancer, CT scans. For example, in the US, there's over 90 million CT scans a year. So the risks of radiation overdosing, if they don't get it right, you could receive the equivalent of 200 X-ray plates in one dose, going through a CT scan or an angiogram. So the idea is to eliminate those risks or reduce them significantly. So we want to address major markets. It should ideally be a tech that's a breakthrough, so as an advance over existing products that are out there, and also be affordable at the same time. So it's no good bringing out a Rolls Royce that cost $1 million because nobody can afford to buy it. So that's a driver as well. And probably one of the most important aspects is to actually quantify your markets. Okay. People, for example, say they've developed a rubber hose for air conditioning, and they say the air conditioning market per annum is 160 billion. But in fact, the air conditioning market for rubber hoses, their real market, might be $1 million a year. So it's to actually identify your real market for a product, not just a general, landscape, and then determine how many competitors there are there and why you have an advantage over those. So quantification of your actual addressable market is pretty essential. And I think probably the most important thing that I would suggest for what I look for is to see that there are established channels to market. So when you start a business and you're doing business to consumer, and that's basically selling one at a time to a new customer, the idea is to have a major partner that already is servicing, turning over billions of dollars ideally, or hundreds of millions of dollars, and is servicing the markets that you're targeting. So ideally you have one customer or two or three, and that's your distributor in each of the territories. So you actually identify ease of market penetration, I guess, is what we're talking about. So look, that's a little bit of a summary of the drivers and the criteria that we look for. Yeah, but patience is one of the big drivers, and it all takes time to get there. So that's the story.
But it's a terrific story. And when you've been working on this, have you discovered any spin-off technologies, and how have you handled those?
Look, there's always spin-off technologies. Obviously, the object is you could be distracted by spin-off technologies as well. Yes, they're there, but early cash flow is what drives a business. So get your key product to market, get it selling, establish a cash flow, and then address your spin-off technologies. Because otherwise you'll wind up with too many balls in the air, and these projects get 95% complete, but they don't actually get to the proper full commercialization stage. So yes, they're there, but stick to your knitting and get each product away in its own right, and then move on to the next.
Kim, that's been a fantastic insight into the world of commercializing technology. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure to talk.
My name is Paul Raftery. I'm a director with Projects RH based in Sydney. And tonight I've had with me Kim Lyle, Executive Chairman of Electrogenics Laboratories, also based in Sydney. Ladies and gentlemen, farewell for now. Thank you, Kim, and good night.
My pleasure.